Welcome guys to my YouTube channel. In today's class, I'll be showing you how to solve this mathematics question. Now take a look at this question. The question says that x plus y is equals to 100, and then x times y is also equals to what? 100. Find the values of x and y. Find the values of x and y. Of x and y. How do we solve this question? Very easy. First of all, this is a what? A simultaneous equation that is going to lead to a what? A quadratic equation. Why did I say so? Let's begin first so you see what I'm talking about. First of all, you have x plus y is 100 and you have xy equals to what? 100. To solve this simultaneous equation, we are going to use the substitution method. The substitution method. According to the substitution method, you have to make either x or y subject formula and then you substitute into the other word equation. For instance, if I'm to make x subject formula here, take a look at this x now. Making x subject formula means that we take this y across this equal to, so that it becomes x equals to 100 minus y. Now, I will call this equation what? Equation 3. Don't forget equation 3 was gotten from equation 1 by simply making x the subject formula. Now, if x is 100 minus y, what do we have to do? We'll simply put x into equation what? 2. So, I will say put x into equation 2. Put x into equation 2, meaning that wherever you see x in equation 2, put 100 minus y. Equation 2 is actually x y equals to 100. So if your x is 100 minus y, it means that you have 100 minus y bracket y equals to what? 100. Are we together? Now, let's open this bracket. 100 y times 100 will give us 100y. Y times minus y will give us y squared equals to what? 100. Okay? Now, if I take this 100 here, to now be left with 0 in the right hand side. So we have 100y minus y squared minus 100 equals to what? Equals to 0. So let's rearrange this quadratic equation. To rearrange the quadratic equation, rearrange the quadratic equation. Now, if we arrange the quadratic equation, the y squared will come first. So you have minus y squared plus, there you have 100y, and then you have minus 100 equals to what? 0. Don't forget that the actual format for a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, or ay squared plus by plus c equals to 0. So this is usually positive. So if you have negative here, you have to multiply everything by what? Minus 1. Yes. So if I multiply through by minus 1, multiply through by minus 1. If I multiply through by minus 1 times this will give us positive y squared. Minus 1 times this will give us minus 100y. Minus 1 times minus 100 will give us plus 100 equals to what? 0. So now we have a proper quadratic word equation. The coefficient of your y squared is an invisible one here. Why this one is what? 100, and here is what? 100 equals to 0. So if you look at this equation, you discover that you cannot factorize this equation. This equation cannot be factorized. So the only way to solve this quadratic equation is to use the formula method. Yes, by using the formula method. Yeah, so we have to use the formula method to solve this quadratic equation. And what's the formula? The formula says that y is equals to plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac everything over 2a. This is your quadratic formula. Do you understand? Now, your a is the coefficient of y squared. Your b is the coefficient of what? Of y. Yc is the constant. If you look at this equation, ay squared plus by plus c is 0. It means that the equation of y squared is a. So if you compare this one to this question, you see that our a is equals to 1. Our b here is what? Equals to minus 100. And c is equals to what? 100. So we are going to plug in these values into this formula so that we have y equals to, oh, this is minus b plus or minus, okay? So this is our formula, minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So our b is minus 100, so you have minus 100. You have minus, b is minus 100 plus or minus the square root of minus 100 square minus 4 times a. 4a, a is what? 1. C is what? 100. All over 2a, which is 2 bracket what? 1. I repeat myself again. Y is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. A is 1. B is minus 100. C is 100. So if you have minus here, your b is minus 100, so you have minus 100 plus or minus the square root of your values. Minus minus here will give us what? Plus. So you have y equals to 100 plus or minus the square root. If I square root negative 100, like if I have minus 100 square, it means minus 100 times minus 100. So if I multiply these 2 times, I'm going to get 10,000. So you have 10,000 minus 4 times 1 is what? 4. Times 100 is 400. So you have 400 all over 2 times 1 is equals to what? 2. So you have y equals to 100 plus or minus the square root of 10,000 minus 400 will give us 9,600 all over 2. So what do we do from here? We are going to what? To simplify this sort, which is 9,600. And the easiest way to do that, you know, when simplifying the sort, you have to simplify into 2 numbers, one perfect square and one non-perfect square. For instance, having 9,600 can be broken down to give us 4,800 times 2, for instance. And then this 4,800 is 48 times 100 times 2. Do you get? So this 48 now is 16 times 3 times 100 times 2. So if I group this together, I will have 1,600. Then if I group this together, I will have 6. So it's like 1,600 times 6. Because the square root of 1,600 is 40. Yes, it's 40. So you have y equals to 100 plus or minus the square root of 1,600 times 6 all over what now? All over 2. Do you get? So what's the square root of 1,600? That's 40. Yes. So it means y is equals to 100 plus or minus 40. Then what will be left here will be the root of 6. Root 6 all over what? 2. So what do we have to do now is to simplify. How do we simplify? Don't forget that if I have something like this, if I have a plus b root d all over c, for instance, To simplify this one, you are going to get a over c plus b root d over c. That's the best you can do. So if we simplify this, we have y equals to 100 over 2 plus or minus 40 root 6 over what? Over 2. So if I use this to cancel this, y will give me 50 plus or minus this cancel this is 20 root what? 6. Since you have plus or minus here, what do? You can separate it so that y is equals to 50 plus 20 root 6 or 50 minus 20 root 6. These are the values of what? Of y. So there are two values of y. That's to say we are still going to get two values of x. Now how do we get the values of x? Let's get the values of x here. Remember that if y is equals to 50 plus 20 root 6, how do you get x from this y? Remember that our x from here was 100 minus y. So 100 minus y. And your y is this. We are taking the first value of y, which is 50 plus 20 root 6. So if I take the first value of y and put it here, x will be 100 minus 50 plus 20 root 6. Do you understand? So this will give us 100 minus, open the bracket, minus 50 minus 20 root 6. So 100 minus 50 will give us 50 minus 20 root 6. So this will be the values of what? Of x. So when y was 50 plus 20 root 6, x was 50 minus 20 root 6. Now, if your y is 50 minus 20 root 6, let's say y is 50 minus 20 root 6 this time. If this is your y, we still substitute into this guy. Don't forget our x is 100 minus y. So we substitute this into this place so that we have y is, x is 100 minus y is now 50 minus 20 root 6. So what would that give us, class? X will be 100, this will give you minus, and this will give you plus 20 root 6. So x will be what? 50 plus 20 root 6. Wow, that's interesting. So when your y was 50 plus 20 root 6, x was 50 minus 20 root 6. And when y became 50 minus 20 root 6, x became 50 plus 20 root 6. So this is the answer to the question. But what we have to do now is to cross-check to see if we add the values of x and y, it's going to give us 100. And that if we multiply it also, it will still give us what? 100. If this is our actual values. Don't forget I said this is your value for y, 50 plus 20 root 6 or 50 minus 20 root 6. While the values of x, 50 minus 20 root 6 or 50 plus 20 root 6. So where your y was plus, yeah, your x was minus. And where your y was minus here, your x was what? Plus. So let's cross check. Let's add these two values to see if we are going to get 100, and then multiply it also to see if we are going to get 100. And that's the most interesting part of this question. Let's do that quickly. So our, like I said, y is equals to 50 plus 20 root 6. Then x will be 50 minus 20 root 6. Yes. So when your y was this was your x. When there was plus here, it was minus here. You saw how we solved it. So let's add these two together to see if we are going to get 100 by the time we add it together. So let's do that quickly. You have 50 plus 20 root 6 plus 50 minus 20 root 6. Let's add it up together. You'll see if we are going to get 100. Since this is the number, collect items here. 50 plus 50 plus 20 root 6 minus 20 root 6. So 20 root 6 minus 20 root 6 will give us what? 0. So we are left with 50 plus 50, and that will give us 100. So when we added it, we got 100. Let's multiply it to see if we are going to get the same 100. So you have 50 plus 20 root 6 times 50 minus 20 root 6. Let's multiply it together to see if we are going to get 100. 50 times 50, 2,500. 50 times minus 20 root 6 is 1,000 root 6. 20 root 6 times 50 is plus 1,000 root 6. 20 root 6 times minus 20 root 6 will give us minus 400 bracket what? 6. Minus 1,000 root 6 plus 1,000 root 6 will give us 0. So you have 2,500 minus 400 times 6 is 2,400. So if I minus it, I'm going to get 100. So that's very correct. If today is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and like. Also share to your friends and turn on your notification bell so that you will get our notifications whenever we post important content like this. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video.